I never quite realized how beautiful this world is.
You just die already! Everything that lives is designed to end. We are perpetually trapped in a never-ending spiral of life and death. Is this a curse? Or some kind of punishment? I often think about the god who blessed us with this cryptic puzzle, and wonder if we'll ever have the chance to kill him.
What's up everybody, Games here, back again with another video, and today I'm going to do something a little different. We're going to talk about Nier Automata. So I just played this game because it came up on Game Pass, and this game completely blew me away, man. The storytelling in the game, the structure within the storytelling, the narrative in the game in itself. If you enjoy single-player games whatsoever, I highly advise you to go pick this game up. You will walk away from this game with your mind just blown, like, at the very end, when you get to your fourth playthrough, which brings you to the true ending, it's gonna have light spoilers, by the way. So if you don't want to be spoiled, I would say turn away now, but if you don't care, stick around. By the time you get to the fourth playthrough, that last ending, man, and you see the final, what this game has to offer, you are going to be like, wow, this game did something that I've never experienced in any other video game I've ever played, man. I've played a lot of games, you know, throughout my 30 years being alive. And to be able to say that after so much gameplay, it makes me really happy to know that there's a, you know, a developer out there that's thinking outside the box a little bit, man. We're going to talk about a bunch of things when it comes to this game today. We're going to talk about its similarities to Dark Souls. We're going to talk about, you know, the combat. We're going to talk about creating builds. I'm going to teach you about that. We're going to talk about quite a few things. So if that interests you at all, I would say stick around. This is going to be a good video to watch. Again, there's going to be light spoilers, guys, so if you don't want to be spoiled at all, and you want to go into a completely blind, you know, walk away. I'm not going to go too heavy on spoilers, but there's going to be something I'm going to talk about that, you know, will take away the element of surprise, I guess, by the time you get there if you're playing the game. But just really a fantastic game, man. Like, I was like speechless when I was done with it, man. I was just sitting here like, wow. So let's get into some gameplay, show you what I'm talking about. Let's do it. Alright, so first thing I want to start off talking about are going to be the similarities to Dark Souls. First thing you're going to see is, yes, it has hubs, but I feel like most RPGs, a lot of them have little safe hubs. As you can see right here, this guy right here will sell you weapons. You can upgrade weapons to him, it's almost like your Andre. Over here, she's the commander. We can get some quests from her. Come over here, we can shop from this guy. We can get potions to heal, things like that. We come over here to this lady, we can buy chips, stuff for our builds and such. So every person in this little camp has their own, you know, little specific purpose. So that's going to be the first thing, you know, has a hub. And I believe there's going to be two different hubs. When you go into the space bunker, that's also going to be a little second hub as well. This person over here will also give you tips if you're confused on some things. If we talk to it real quick. Blah, 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 blah. See, how do I save? What's the access point? A lot of questions. So they can be kind of helpful if you're stuck at any old point in the game. Come talk to her. So, safe hub, that's going to be the first one. Alright, next similarity I'm going to talk about is you have weapons in this game. You can carry two at a time, so that's a little different. And you're going to swing them. In my opinion, that's really where the similarities for the combat starts and ends, man, because as you can see, it's much faster than Dark Souls, man, and the things you can do in this game are just a little more like Devil May Cry, I guess, because as you can see, this thing that follows you, this pod, if you hold right bumper, will shoot indefinitely. It actually does decent damage too, man. You could make it through the whole game and just use this if you wanted to and just run away from people, and you could probably beat the entire game just with your pod on its own. So it does decent damage, because you also get that laser right there, which does a crap ton of damage. So when it comes to similarities, yes, we have weapons, yes, we swing them, but that's really it. As you can see, you can jump pretty high in this game. You also get a little dash as well, like that, dude. It's just, you're really fast. The pace, much faster than Dark Souls, so it really starts and ends with just, we have a weapon, we swing it. Alright, so we also have builds in this game. That's another similarity to Dark Souls. Obviously, it's going to be different, but there are builds, so let me show you. So if we go into skills, down here, we have pod programs, which is upgrading the thing that's floating behind us that shoots everybody. If you go to plug-in chips, that's going to be the build for the actual character. So if you go into plug-in chips, you have 3 builds you can have set at all times, if you have enough chips, I guess. So we'll go to set type A, customize. Now you see that gray locked area right below on the right? We can unlock that entire space and be able to put chips in that entire space for the build. So let me see. Oh, I can't. We have auto ones. I wanted to show you how much they take up. But so all chips, we have system, which is just your HUD, your HP, like your mini map, things that you need to play the game really. And they take up very little room. If you look at the top, you see those thin little lines. Those are those chips. So they're really doesn't make a big difference if they're there. We have attack, defense, support, and you can optimize, which will take all your chips and put them together for you. Attack, you can add like shockwaves to your weapon. You can do plus critical damage, you know, things like that. Defense, you can get health back from killing enemies. Support, I believe that comes, maybe hacking goes under that, I believe. I had a sick chip, it was called Overclock, which every time I got a perfect evade, it would slow time for 2 seconds. You know, all the enemies would be like almost frozen in time, moving extremely slowly, and would just allow me to destroy them, dude. And I had another chip which gave me +3, it was a +3 health back after time I killed somebody. And dude, it would give me like almost half health back every time I killed an enemy, so it just made me like a god playing the game. It's crazy how powerful you'll get with the builds you can make in the game. So yeah, there you go. There's the builds for the game. You can have 3 at all times. Another similarity to Souls. Alright, so also it's a JRPG. Another similarity it has for Souls. The last one I want to talk about is going to be the death penalty in this game, right? So I kind of like the way they did it, but it's pretty punishing, man, if you fail to get it back. So anytime you die, your body, your android body is going to be laying somewhere on the ground, and you come back in a little machine, and you got to come out in your new android body, you know, and go retrieve it. If you don't make it back to your body in time, guys, you lose the entire build that was associated with that body. So say you had a sick build you were running, you loved it, like the one I told you about. I could slow down time, I was getting half health back for every kill. If I didn't get that back, I would have lost that sick build forever, you know? I mean, you do find a lot of chips in the game, but that's still, to me, a pretty punishing, you know, system for the death penalty, which makes you, you know, really try to not die in this game, and or you got to get that body back, man, because if you have a beast build that you're in love with, you know, you could lose it like that. Gone. So, death penalty has one, Dark Souls has one, and for me, that's really where the similarities end. Other than that, man, this game is nothing like Dark Souls. So let's get into the combat. I'm going to show you what's up with that. We have some enemies right ahead of us right there we're going to go mess around with. Alright, so when it comes to combat, you can abuse the evade button like crazy in this game, which is right trigger. Now watch, I'll show you. Let me see if we can get one of these guys to attack us. Oh, I think they're friendly robots. God damn it. There we go. Now you see this? He can't hit me no matter what. Every time you evade, your girl will split up like that. And you can just, in a big pile of enemies, just keep hitting it, keep hitting it, keep hitting it. And your evade, you can level up your evade, man. You see that? And you also get more powerful attacks after you do an evade that you can pop them up in the air and just completely decimate them. Also, we have this, don't forget. Boom! Laser time. You see that? One hit kill. And I'm only level 3, too. You can level up and become way more powerful, so it's pretty badass, man. Like I said, some of the effects that you're going to see are going to be given to you, you know, through your build chips, which is pretty sweet because there's a lot of different ways you can play this game, and which is pretty crazy all in all, but if you do get it, just remember you can abuse that that evade quite heavily, man. Doesn't really matter what you're fighting either, dude. You can just sit there and evade like crazy. Like, boom, 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 boom. I was in a situation where I was fighting, like, I swear to God, it was like a pile of 50 robots, man. And I still didn't get hit once, just running around being, like, crazy, you know, fucking overpowered android woman galore. So, badass. The combat in this game is like I said, more similar, I'd say, to Devil May Cry 5, because you can shoot the entire time. What you want to be doing whenever you lock onto something, just blast them the whole time with your gun as you're sitting there going to town on them with your weapon as well. So, pretty awesome. Alright, so I want to talk about weapons next. There are so many weapons in this game. There's quite a bit of weapons, and obviously some are going to be better than others. But you can find them, you know, at shops you go to. You can find weapons there, and then you can find them just out in the wild. You can find them like in little dungeons, man, hidden throughout the world. The weapons in this game, there's quite a few of them, man. And you'll find, you know, there's heavy weapons, there's small swords, medium swords. You know, there's those huge oversized looking weapons, almost like a great sword from Dark Souls. So if you're looking for a big, heavier playstyle, there's one for you, dude. There's There's so many combinations you can think of. You know, when it comes to weapons in this game, they did quite a good job on the weapons. I ended up using just 2 weapons my entire playthrough, and I got them both to +4. But you know, when you get them at such a high level like that, it's they become beasts. So you'll find some that you like for yourself, but when it comes to weapons, they are weapons plenty. Alright, now the next thing I want to talk about is going to be its storytelling and the storytelling structure, and this is the part that really blew me away when it came to Nier Automata. So, the storytelling in this game, to even see the second half of this game, you need to play through it 3 times. The first and second playthrough are going to work kind of like a la Resident Evil 2, where you'll see the playthrough with the girl where we are right now, and then the second playthrough you'll play through is this guy right here, 9S. And each playthrough will show you their, different paths when it comes to... Oh shit, we're getting attacked. When it comes to where they were at with the story and what they did. Also, the gameplay changes dramatically through each playthrough. So that was also super refreshing to see. It wasn't just you get to see this guy's path and see what he was doing. It's also, you also get to experience a completely different game. I was absolutely shocked when I booted it up the 3rd time and you start up and... It's like, that's the second half of the game. I was like, what the hell? Like, literally, the 3rd playthrough will start off at the end of these 2 playthroughs. So you get to see the second part of the story, into which, again, the gameplay changes more. Like, it just keeps on evolving. Like, you learn new gameplay mechanics and such, as your playthroughs progress. It's insane, man. They kept it so fresh. Now... I don't think this is a game that you're probably going to binge and binge. Once you get to that 4th ending, man, and you experience it all, and I'm going to explain that in a minute, you might not want to go back through the game, and I'll explain why. But when it comes to the storytelling and the structure and how they did it, I have never played a game that's done that yet. It was quite refreshing to see. Also, when it comes to the storytelling itself, man, the subjects they cover, it's super interesting to see these robots and see, the way they are reacting in the world and what they are doing. And basically, you're going to see them mimic humanity and, try to evolve through mimicking humanity as humanity has evolved. You know what I'm saying? Even if they mimic humanity and ended up in failure, the robots still choose to do so. Just because they have no other idea what to do. They have no idea how to become better. And it's just super interesting story to see this happen throughout this game, man. So hats off to the writers, man. Nice job. Absolutely beautiful. Alright, so if you can't tell by now, Nier Automata, all in all, man, is a fantastic game. If you enjoy single-player games, guys, like I said in the beginning, go pick this up. Especially if you're a fan of RPGs, it is actual fantastic experience. Now, I'm going to talk about something that happens at the very, very end when you get the 4th playthrough right now. So if you haven't played the game and you want to be surprised, I would say leave the video now. Thank you for stopping by. If you, enjoyed the video and you thinking about grabbing it, maybe drop a like before you go. Helps me, helps Google show people who don't know. As you guys know, I'm a small channel, so. Alright, so, if you are gone now, people who are staying back, there's something that I want to talk about that this is kind of the icing on the cake, so to speak. So, at the 4th playthrough, when you get to the very end, you are going to be about quarter way through the credits, and it's going to rewind, and then one of these pods is going to start talking to you. And they're basically going to ask you some questions, you're going to respond to them, and it's going to bring you through a little bullet hell minigame at the end, and you're going to have to go and shoot the credits as they're rolling through. Now, this blew my mind because, in the very beginning of this game, she asked if she'll ever have a chance to kill her creators, which are literally, at the end, that's what you do. You kill the gods, the creators of the game itself, which I was like, wow, that's, quite crafty. And then, it gets harder and harder as you progress, and then it eventually asks you if you want help because it's almost impossible to beat by yourself. So you say yes, 6 little helper buddies come and help you, and you're able to get through. You get to the end. Now, when you get to the end, it asks you, would you like to help someone and give them the help pretty much like you just got? And you want to do it. You say yes, of course, but then it tells you, you can do this, but to do this, you're going to have to delete all your saved data for Nier Automata. And my jaw just hit the floor, dude. Knowing that other people sacrifice all the time they put into the game to be able to give you that help to make it through is just such a beautiful ending, man. It really is. And it approached a place that I've never been to, man. Especially playing a single player game like that. I was just like, wow, man. It was a moving experience, to say the least, dude, to see it go through and delete everything that I had worked on, man, and that's all just to help someone. It even tells you, too, it's like, you could know this person in real life and not be too fond of them, you know what I mean, and you still want to help them, and you're like, God damn, that could be right, you know, what if that's that guy that took my girl, man, and you still say yes, you still do it. It's a beautiful thing, man, it really is. So, again, if you guys are looking for something different, something that by the time you're done with this experience, dude, you are gonna be like, that was like unlike any other game I've ever played. Nier Automata is the way to go. It really is. So I don't want to make this too long. I know it's a little different kind of video of what I've done, but you know, I really just want to get my opinion out about this and, you know, let you guys know about it. So if you've enjoyed, if you learned some things, like I said, drop a like before you leave. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. Subscribe before you go, man. I'll be making a video every day except for Wednesdays and every other weekend. So I will see you guys tomorrow for the next one. Hopefully you enjoyed, and be safe, everybody, and enjoy your night. Peace out.